The work that I do is very personal. It always comes from a very personal place. It has to do with what I'm feeling at the time and the place that I'm at. Because I know that and I understand that what I try to do is create as much experience as I can for myself that then eventually manifests into work. I went to school for graphic design in the Superior Institute of Graphic Design in Havana, Cuba. Right after college, I moved to the States. That's where my professional career began, both in creating advertising work and in the extra hours I would create my personal work. Throughout the years, I have realized that much better work always comes as a result of not creating divisions between one thing and another one. So I have tried to merge the two of them. When I was at school, I started experimenting with photography. Throughout the years, the work that I have created has expanded from photography to projection, to interaction, to using sensors, to using lights. I have realized that there's not one specific thing that triggers creativity in my case. It's a combination of experiences that eventually something out of it comes in a form of a project or a piece of work. The Fragility of a Promise is a project that explores the dynamics between the forces of power outside of my control and myself. In thinking about the work and contextualizing the work in its physical form, the idea honed on a number of lights, over 1,000 individual LED lights that are structurally hanging from the ceiling in a concentric kind of way. The arts put the viewer right in the center of the attention, underneath the piece, underneath the concentric circles, right in that center point. Every single one of the lights is pointing at you, is flashing at you, is lighting up and illuminating you. But it's not all of them at the same time necessarily, it's in a pattern. They're coming in and out, almost in the same way your community, your network activates at a certain point in life to facilitate something. So the way I explore this specific concept is by providing a place to stand where you have direct sight to all these individual lights that come on at a certain point. To create an interactive, immersive piece, it is important that you feel that you're present in all possible ways. Having just a visual was not enough. It felt incomplete. It was necessary to have also a sound stimulus that draw you into the space and make you feel that you belong there, that you're part of the experience. Early in the piece, I knew what I wanted the sound to accomplish. There's two levels of sound. One is what we call the ambient sound that draws you into the space, makes it feel as an immersive installation, activating both visual and audio senses. And then every time a light turns on, a sound is played. So we created a set of sounds that will work with the ambient sound. So every time a light turns on, a sound turns on. Because this happened really quickly and really dynamically, with over 1,000 lights, you can hear the tick, 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 tick of all the lights turning on. I usually don't think about the technical challenges of executing an idea. I'm oblivious to that most of the time. I have an idea and then I set myself to execute it, whatever it takes. And that has taken me to the path of learning new skills and incorporating new ways of executing the work. So every single project that I do pushes me a little bit more into where I want to be. Doing the research, there was really nothing in the market that I could just buy off the shelf and utilize in the project. Every single component of it has to be built from scratch. So that means that because there's 1,000 or more lights in it, every process to get it done had to be multiplied by 1,000. So if we had to put one screw in, that meant putting 1,000 screw in, and if it's two, then it's 2,000. A lot of the project was created using traditional ways of manufacturing. Some of the components were produced with laser cutting. We use a state-of-the-art laser cutting machine to cut some of the individual parts that made the final installation. Some of the other elements were completely handmade, hand-cut, hand-sanded, hand-painted, hand-assembled. To realize this project, we had a lot of help from the community. We had people of all ages coming in and helping. We had really young kids all the way to senior citizens just being there, helping, even if it's just a little bit. The idea of going full circle into utilizing manufacturing techniques to create, instead of thousands of individual parts that go in separate ways, using that, creating those thousands of parts, but all bringing them together in a unique piece of art is something that is really interesting for me. What I hope it happens is that the viewer is able to relax and just put everything aside and enjoy the work. Enjoy the piece and get lost both in the sound and the visuals in a way that makes them reconsider the dynamic of their own lives or their own speed of life. I just really hope they take the time to reflect about the piece, about its intention, about its meaning.